hello. I'm Lucinda Lockhart. I just bumped my diopter adjustment. Fluffy's told me a lot about you. All of you. And I hope that we can be friends. It's good to finally see you all in person. Why are you still adjusting? Scuff! There. I'm sorry, Damn it. So... You can't tell, but I'm literally holding my microphone on its stand in my left hand. You actually can tell. But... I really don't know what to say that Fluffy didn't say repeatedly in 22 minutes. You should be over here. No, you let go. Hello, cutie. Welcome in, everybody. So, as I was saying, I don't really know what to say that Fluffy hadn't already said in a very long video because they don't like leaving things unsaid. But I am Lucinda Lockhart. I'm new around here and I'm sorry if my voice changes and shifts. I'm still trying to find using it. I haven't spoken to anyone in a long time. But it's a pleasure to see you all. Anyway, I know a lot of you liked Fluffy a lot, but he's finally found peace and is totally not playing on repeat on the laptop over there. Hopefully you aren't hearing that. I need to go slap a button violently. I have not configured Nightbot at all, so it's on basically default settings. Sorry about that. There's a lot of little things that I haven't done yet. It literally timed out Judy. It timed out a mod. Bless Nightbot. I think Judy's gonna be joining Raffi and fighting it. But I guess I can just... Now that the lore dump is over and the smug, self-satisfying writer can put his bullshit away, I guess I could part the veil a little bit and kind of make sure it's said in no unclear terms what the metaphors of being my VTuber really are. I'm a transgendered woman. I'm trans femme, I prefer to say, because I'm still in the early stages and enough of my anxiety says you could just be non-binary. And I'm not feeding that gremlin. I'm letting it have a corner and it can sit there and sulk while the rest of me figures shit out. I ultimately knew one way or another. For a while now, like since I was 8, I just didn't have the words for it, so I couldn't articulate it, so I couldn't explain it, so I couldn't... Nightbot, calm down! So I couldn't really express it, so I couldn't face it, I couldn't understand it. So it just left me with repression. See, it was the early 90s when I was 8, and the only real representation we had was a not good episode of Night Court, and kind of a throwaway line from Silence of the Lambs. Specifically that Buffalo Bill, the serial killer, wasn't one of us, and that we're no more a threat to our society than average cis people, which they didn't even have that term. In fact, they used transsexual because it was the 90s. So there was no way in hell I had a chance of getting out anytime soon, of being who I am. But over the past decade or so, I found I knew what the answer was, but I was afraid to face it, so I just repressed. I said anything I could to tell me that it was not the way it was, that I am not who I am because of, well, the kind of internalized bullshit that comes from growing up in the 90s and being anything other than regular. Anything other than factory stock parts. But around January, in fact it was, well, last year I picked up that album Ordinary Life, which was a coming out album for the vocalist of We Are the Union. And it spoke to me, even listening shallowly to it, in ways that made me question things and face up to some things. And then January, I was sitting there listening to a ska punk album, and that one, and then reading a webcomic, literally called I Want to Be a Cute Anime Girl, and as the trans community likes to say, my shell finally cracked. As I like to say, I fucking broke. Thank you, QT, that means a whole lot. I know I've said some stupid things around you, thanks to, going from growing up in the 90s to being on 4chan, and then, thankfully, at least leaving it before I could get radicalized. But I couldn't. I tried to keep streaming, tried to work through things, but I couldn't. It was too much. And then when that Skyrim stream broke, which was at least lore friendly, the rest of me kind of went with it, and I went from telling the closest among me, like my bestie and my BFF and my doctor, to slowly more and more people, and I don't know if anybody cis has kind of gone through, especially if you're just cis, hetero, not saying just as in that's bad. It's fine. It's good. I've blown several cis het guys. But if you've gone through something that just saying the words to yourself is torture, because that puts the onus on you to admit that that was just said, and then each and every time you say it, even if you say it to somebody who you know you can trust, somebody who's partially responsible for fucking your shell up, it's terrifying. Each person you say it to is terrifying, because each person is a nail in the coffin of who you were before, and it takes a lot, even if you're as open-minded and allied and queer in general, and admitting at least that, as I was in the era of Fluffy. It's hard to say it because there's still things tied up in the back of your brain. There's still internalized transphobia, still that little gremlin. If it can't say that, no, it's just a fetish, no, you're just non-bi, no, you're actually kind of an insult to the community, you won't make a real good trans person. It's saying things like, well, at least you're half credit. It puts another nail in the coffin and tells that little fucker, keep screaming. But there comes a time where you've got to fucking say it. So the video, aside from being admittedly kind of long because I wanted to make sure I had time to get my VR kit on and load up this shit, which, full body tracking, yay! It was a way of putting to rest Nightbot. Did you swear to Christ. Default Nightbot is terrible, and I haven't had time to fix it. If I'd put things off another week or two, I could have done the little fixes, set up my page, as you guys can see, at least on desktop, to have a little bit more to it. I could have programmed Nightbot better. I could have done a couple more things here and there. I could have maybe had time to find an actual Taoist temple instead of a Shinto shrine, but I mean, Fluffy does like sakura petals and is also really shit at being a Taoist creature. Oh, that's right. I think I have you as a controller of Nightbot. It's pretty, and I wanted to at least have the first stream here, because the other rooms I fancy that I'll probably be using as my default, because this is how I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna use VC Face as little as possible. Their lighting's a little bit more... Well, it's the lighting I tend to pass in, so that's good, I guess, but I wanted to actually show you who I was in this incarnation, who Luci Locks is, as I'm happy with the model. Happier more and more every day with who I am, and how I am regardless of whether I'm a cute anime girl or still technically a big queer monster. Not a monster. Never a monster. You can be the monster you want to see in the world. You can be the monster you needed as a child, the monster that you need now, but you are never actually a monster. Because you're still a human. You're still worth love. I say that to myself in the mirror frequently. But, also, if you sort your magic cards wrong, you're a fucking monster. And I will... This is a hill I will die on. It's a dumb hill, but I will die on it. And I will proudly be buried underneath it. There's one way, folks. One way. It's on the back of the card. Anyway. So I spent the last 6 months. I was originally going to come back in March, like I said. Looks at Pokemon card sorting. Backs away nervously. You're not a monster, you're a tiger plushie, and I adore you. Monsters are those super mutants that you live nearby in Spokane. Avalon, do not make me ban you. That's what Nightbot's for. I was going to come back in March, because I thought it would take not that long to sort things out, tell who I need to tell, accept myself, get therapy. I laughed so hard now when I think about it would only take a couple months to get a therapist that handles transition in Washington, because that sounds perfectly reasonable. This is a great state to be queer, a great state to be trans. I'm still looking for a therapist. I don't sort decks, cards, your collection. But then things happened, and my time got taken more and more. As I said before, previously on the other stream, new stream, who dis? That's what I should have put. That's what my title should have been. New soul, who this? I had convenient excuses and convenient reasons. I didn't have time on my days off. I devoted that to other people, as I do, because I love other people and I want them to shine as I hoped to and am now starting to. Which means working on this shit either after work or not at all, and well, y'all know how my work has been. But I'm finally at a place of equilibrium. And a place where I can start to grow. I have a path forward now, and my gun permit's renewed, because it's still America, even Washington. Even though Tacoma don't give a shit, it's still America. It's... got a purse big enough to hold my revolver, which is nice. It's very cute, actually. But I couldn't hold it off any longer. It was now or never, and I wanted to come back. I wanted to see you all again. I wanted to stream again. I love chatting with you, and refocusing on crafting and spoken things like reading and VR specifically is going to give me a better balance of things. It also lets me play my flat screen games just for me, which has been liberating. Though I should probably stream only cans, at least. Kinda missed Valentine's Day for that one, unfortunately. I did promise last year I was gonna do that for Valentine's this year. My family knows. My father took it as he does many things, openly, lightheartedly, and then processed it later and has found a way to accept it wholeheartedly, while also appeasing his own ego, kinda. Like, no disrespect to my father, but he is a creature of ego. So, I mean, if he can say, look at how cool I am, I love my daughter, that's fine. He does love me. My mom approached it like the lieutenant colonel that she is, and with no ego and no question, relayed a story about a coworker of hers who transitioned, and then asked a few questions and started with, well, what's your next step? Do you have a doctor's appointment for that? When are you setting the doctor's appointment? Fuck, I forgot to set the doctor's appointment. Tomorrow, I set my doctor's appointment for HRT. And it was just fantastic that I'm accepted by the people in my family that matter. Gray, my mom, my dad. Literally the rest of the people I am related to by blood can die in a fire. If Russia nukes Illinois, the only thing we lose is the Chicago Museum. I'm sad about that. Sue the Dinosaur is awesome. That was not me scratching my nose. That was totally me scratching my nose. And Fox and Minx, I don't know. I think they would survive a nuclear blast. Besides, we need to get at least one of them out here anyway, so... But the people in my life who need to know, I'm going to tell a couple others who don't watch my streams but should know as soon as I'm done streaming. Everybody else, they either know or they don't fucking matter. A couple years ago, I went off Facebook because of the stress from everything, including work and Facebook and political revolutions. Well, okay. Really bad Walmart grade coup attempts. And Facebook. And when I did that, I said I'd keep Messenger open so that anybody who wants to can talk to me still. I heard from 2 people. Everybody else I either had on Discord or on text somewhere else, and they just said, hey, this is probably a good thing. So, my family back home, my old friends, my old coworkers, high school sweetheart, well, high school simp, really, I'm gonna be real on that. Which, by the way, when you're unpacking why you were attracted to a girl in middle school, and that it wasn't because she was hot, but because you wanted to have her body as your own. There's a lot to unpack when you realize that you are absolutely not the right person. But anyway, those fuckers. I might change my name on Facebook so that it carries over to Messenger, so that people who are on Messenger will see it says Luci Locks or Lucinda Lockhart. I don't know if I could change to the Messenger instead. I'll just do that. Fuck Facebook. Fuck everybody else. If they find out, they find out. If they don't, they don't. I don't care. But this has been a long, strange trip to go through to get to here. And I'm glad you're all here with me. And anybody who missed this stream, well, I'm probably gonna post in Discord servers. I mean, my name on Discord, my account name is Darling Luci, so... Koozie. I will fix Nightbot before next stream, I promise. Maybe. Dread, I think I have you marked for being able to fuck with Nightbot if you wanted to. If not, that is cool. I don't even know if you know how to, but whatever. You'll still fight the bots. You are in good company. Oh my god, it's so hot in here and I'm wearing an HMD. I'm literally wearing as little as possible. Ooh woo. And I am sweating profusely. My original plan, by the way, was to do this segment, have a little speech prepped, but it took enough to just get the fucking video out, and then go and hop into Desert Bus VR. But welcome in, Ari, dear. Yeah, I'm not gonna be playing I'm not gonna be playing any game for 16 hours. Like, Desert Bus is 8 hours each way. It's Phoenix to Vegas. As much as I want to do that and will do that, like, I'm not gonna play it just one direction. Hell no. Nobody just goes to Vegas. You've got to come back. Good Schwitz is good for you. I mean, I do hydrate a lot and also take in a lot of sodium, which I need to reduce my sodium intake. Good God, Luci, seriously, you are a wreck. But I actually want to take care of my body now, which is good. Play Elder Scrolls Online with you and Chippy. I would, but there's no VR. I'm specifically, with few exceptions, staying away from flat screen games. My focus will be to proselytize and evangelize the glory of virtual reality, its affordability, relatively, the newest and greatest of it, and also I want to get back to playing flat games for playing flat games. And white table, oh yeah. The great cesspool of the Empire to which all idlers found themselves drawn to. I hope the audio has been okay. My microphone, I don't actually see it. I was going to use the lapel mic, but I couldn't get it to stop glitching even without the fucking AC on. Which, by the way, when I was playing that AC, running the AC earlier in stream, and you heard it like really badly, that was on low. If it's actually trying to cool, like if it's trying to just, you know, refrost this place, yeah. I saw the audio levels, it's hilariously bad. Never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. And now Nini is in the war with Bot. Part of me wants to keep Nightbot as it is, but one of the things I'm going to be doing is setting up Stream Elements loyal channel points, and I kind of want to set up a thing where you can fuck with Nightbot. That's another thing is one of the biggest reasons why I came over to Luci Locks from Fluffy, aside from just starting anew. No better day for it than my birthday. I'm literally feeling sweat drip off my head onto my shoulder. Was that I wanted to start fresh without affiliation and just not go back. Like I said, I'm not going to say no if people give me money, but I don't need money. I give more money out than I've ever made from... I've given more to Doppel, honestly, than I've made off of being a streamer. Let's be real here. And I do not have a problem with that. I support those I support. I love those I love. It's been a great stream, and so glad you're able to stream despite the difficulties. It would have been easier if I didn't decide to do this cheeky bullshit where I raid out to myself, but that was kind of a running gag from start with the 420.069. Reconfiguring your platform and identity to suit your needs. Thank you, Alter Dear. Thank you. But it's kind of been like raiding out to myself and killing off the old account was kind of a thing as a running gag since I affiliated, as like the most expensive redeem was to delete my account, and I was just going to raid out to an account that was named Fluffy Yaogwai is Taken. So I mentioned it in passing to Bones when I talked to her about this, because she and Quilby were really inspirational into helping me feel how I needed to understand to accept what I was. In other words, I simped super fucking hard one stream that they were doing and felt like an ass and realized that it wasn't that I was just down bad, but like #life goals. I mean, Bones and Quilby are the best. I will 100% say that. You all are darlings and dear hearts, and I love you all. It's gonna show? Oh, fuck, it's not on this screen. Ah! I set up a new screen for this real quick, and... I'm dumb. Or wait, did it show? It did show? Yay! Ah! This, by the way, right here, this is my ceiling. This is why I don't throw grenades in VR. Or if I do, I underhand them like in Cyberpunk. I got crashed for a bit. Heat's killing you. Love you. Missed you all these months. You were an inspiration for me to stream and Banui Must Lounge. Go consume rest. Love. I'm probably not going to drag this out any longer. I was thinking I would do a VR game, but I can't think of anything offhand, and honestly... Let me just... It crept right back up to 80 degrees, folks. Like, it's 80 inside right now. Personally, remember discussing this joke with you. Thought it was a fitting metaphorical passing of the torch. Yeah. By the way, I don't know if there's a better system, then absolutely recommend it. But if you have Better TTV installed as an extension on your browser, all my emotes are there, including 4 from the Darling Mealing Bloodfang that are for Luci. They are fucking amazing. And one of them's a gasm. I can't see them on my end because I don't have the extension. But yeah, there you go. Also, I'm using a chat chat from OVR Toolkit. But yeah, I think I'll stop rambling soon, maybe, because it's over 80 degrees inside right now, with the only air being some air coming in from the open skylight. Otherwise, it's completely stifled, stale, dead air. I could not find my tiny fan. I have a tower fan that sits about hip height that I use to determine direction in VR. It helps with VR nausea if you always know a direction. Doesn't matter which. So having a fan blowing on you, A, cools you off, and B, lets you know which way whatever is. usually whatever is considered front in your VR space. Can't fucking find it. The only cooling I have is that big window rattling monster, and I can't run it or you wouldn't be able to hear me. So, I'm gonna take off here in a bit. I'm gonna take a breather, cool down, let my nerves settle, and then start working on the small things I didn't get a chance to. But I wanted to be here, and I tried that before. Fan compass, yeah. Fan compass, I don't need it as much. I'm pretty resistant. One of the first games I played in VR was Windlands, and I refused to not play it. So, like, that'll build a tolerance pretty quick, or you might just die. Need to find a tiny portable for the window that looks out the back. The window that looks out the back's in the bathroom, which is still plastic because somebody malleted the plastic framing we put in place, and the only way I can get it out is by destroying it. And that's the one window that needs plasticking the most, so that's not happening. Need to rebuild your tolerance, it's been a while. Well, darling, if you want to do some multiplayer VR collab, I think I know somebody who would be interested. It needs it year-round too. Yeah, that window is terrible year-round. It's probably from when they renovated in the 50s. There's so much I was gonna say, I can't remember everything. We could make it better. I knew you would say that. Well, you want to come over sometime, love. Absolutely. I will take a step back here. I would step back further physically. Let me see here. Well, let me actually step forward. So I can roll back, so I can step back. Ah! VR is awesome. So this is one of the two bodies I have rigged for VR currently. Any of my bodies I have, any of my outfits, will work for when I'm in-game, because I'll be using VMC and Live. But when I'm in VR chat, this is one of the two bodies I currently have. And I love this costume. You got a skirt. Sadly, physics don't let it go spinny. But I love it. Up here, I've got the mark of the Yaogwai still, because he's over my heart, because always, even though he has found his peace, in a way, he'll always be there to protect me. But I also have... The problem with this one is the skirt's a little short, and I don't want to flash y'all every time I sit down. So let me... Oh crap, this requires both hands. Sorry, I'm really proud of this part. Hold on. I figured out how to put in an intro animation, a spawn animation. And I paid $15 for that one off a booth. I'm gonna have to commission one if I know somebody who does 3D, and if anybody knows anybody who does 3D animation, I want to do a couple of things. But I like that one. It was sideways, which is a bit annoying. It's a heart that I pop out of. And this is my pants model. It's for those who remember my Valentine streams and a couple other times I played some hearty, delicious games. This is what I call the Purple Love. I did a little bit of alteration to it, but this is for when I need to crouch, kneel, sit down, backflip like Fillion. No, I'm not going to backflip like Fillion. I will die. I was never athletic. That's how your girl dies. But this is me. Welcome back, Koozie. And I love how the model looks. I love... Actually, all of my costumes are really good. A couple of them are just defaults from... Hi. Oh, I need to fix the physics on this one. It's a bit stiff still. A couple of them are just default costumes from Vroid, but it turns out Vroid Studios costumes are all free use. Like, you can use them commercially, you can use them however you want. And because they're the defaults, they're basic costumes in Vroid Studio, nobody uses them because they assume somebody's going to use them. So guess what's actually unique as a VTuber, especially a Vroid tuber? Default costumes. And there's some really fucking cute ones that look pretty damn good on me. Several things would break with a flip. Yeah. Especially since I have a tethered headset. I will be figuring out, there was another thing that I wanted to have set up, but it's a total pain in the ass, is I have an extra Vive tracker, and I need to do some jiggery-pokery of my programs and have, I think, OpenVR installed, and a Python script, which means having Python, but I can replace the headset with just a head unit, with just a sensor on my head, like on a hat or something, a headband. And then I can have my face camera and get the full face tracking and not be blind, so I can walk around my own room and see things and do things like move a chair in place, and in VR chat or somewhere else that I would be doing like virtual cast, place a chair there so that there's a chair when I'm sitting. Instead of, as I try to see how far back the chair is, and to the side. Hovering. Oh god. Do not cover your sensors, Luci. I do enjoy this, but it's not... This is your VR chat standard person floating while lounging. I think this is like, Self is always sort of like Jarl sitting or Dirtbag sitting in a chair. So she's always just like floating around, curled up. Yes, model goes spinning, haha. Where'd you go? There you are. I think that's all I had to show at the moment. I said I was gonna sort of speechify this, but then I didn't write a speech because I had to do the video, and honestly, we saw how the video turned out. Let's be real, it was fine. It did its job, but... And then go into a game, but I think if I push my hardware much longer with the screen tearing I'm getting, it might actually overheat. In fact, having my PC right there, my gaming PC right there, in this room... Ugh. But all the lovely people who came by are here. I'll be changing my name. Oh yeah, I started saying a little bit ago, but if you check, my actual username in Discord is Darling Luci and has been for a bit. Darling. 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 The video is the speech, yeah. Like, I don't think I could actually run a game on my PC right now without the AC blowing full blast, and it legitimately not melting down, so... I'm probably gonna take next week off. I'm gonna be starting to stream Wednesdays. I'm gonna try and angle for early, but... Voice Attack is handling the show hide too, yeah. Oh no, it's busted, hold on. Darling? I said it too many times in a row while I was still processing, so it lost count, I think. There's also a streamer bot that I want to work with that Judy has set up and Solve has set up and Stegs has set up that will actually be able to replace voice attack, which will be cool. But I want to give you as much as I can from free resources without having to affiliate to make you feel like you need it, like you have the stuff you need to interact with me. I like interacting with you guys, having things that you can do, but I'm not going to monetize. I'm putting my content out there for free because this is about being there to have fun with you guys. It's not showing off how cool VR is, how great vinyl records are, how weird my taste in books are, how wonderful crafting is, which I've got a backstock now. I got some birthday gifts in, and a couple of them require assembly, and one of them is an album I can't wait to play for you loves. Just can't wait. Especially since I found a secret. I found a secret. I'm not evil. I'm not evil. I'm kind of evil, but I'm not a monster, and that's what counts. I'm going to try and stream Wednesdays. I'm going to try and stream on the weekends. I might still do short streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I want to, but they would be after work, so QT would be asleep. All the Euro folk would be asleep. Secret, I've got a secret. It's not that. I need that album. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. Streaming Wednesday and possibly weekends early so Euros can say hi. Streaming Monday and possibly Thursday with as little effort as possible so that I can have fun and not die after work. I'm back. This is me. I'm going to start shifting my account, shifting things over, changing my names on Discord servers and such after we do this. And I just, for everybody who stuck through even, especially this long, just want to say thank you so much. Several of you knew what was going down. I'd come to you directly because you're close people. But I still... Will I even fix Nightbot at this point? It's hilarious to me. Well, no. Fluffy's Nightbot was a game. This isn't a game, this is a slaughter. Nightbot, you're fighting an actual robot that time. It's not gonna go well for you. I think the most important thing I can take away from Fluffy, though, is that he did show me the most important thing to have is a way forward, even when you don't see the path. So, let me get in frame properly. Be the monster that you want to see in the world. Love without hesitation. And fight for peace. All you lovely darlings have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. And now I awkwardly turn off stream before my model starts floating.